sometimes it's just not your day, you're not on it, you break your rules, and you end up paying for it, unfortunately. So today I broke a rule on CARA and ended up taking a bigger loss than I wanted to. We'll talk about that today on Market Open Trading. What's up, guys? It's Miguel here. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, definitely consider subscribing, where I give you guys tips and tricks on how to stay profitable in the stock market. So today there were a lot of movers this morning, and I definitely concentrated on a lot of the shorts with a cleaner daily chart. But now I think the first trade I took this morning, it worked well. It hit my target, but it spiked back faster than I really anticipated, and instead of putting my stop loss at break even like I should have, I didn't take my partial, and it just ramped back up, kicked me, jumped over my stop, and it took me out 10 to 12 cents farther than I really wanted to. So we'll talk about that. So this morning I took CARA on the way down, and I've been doing these 5-minute breakdowns, and they've been working out pretty good. So you'll see here on the 5-minute chart, first red candle, and then second candle pulls back all the way here to 1896. So between that and 1881, I was like, okay, well, it's 15 cents. I'm going to short it at the bottom as it breaks that candle. So as you can see, it actually ended up breaking all the way down from 1880 down to 1858. So it flushed all the way down more than 15 cents. More than 20 cents. So let's see here. So a little bit more than 20 cents, and now it hit my target, and I did not end up getting my partial. I did not end up taking my partial. So you'll see here I got triggered at 1877, and actually it really should have gone down 1 more cent, but regardless. So it flushed down. It came all the way back, so it aggressively got bought back up, and I just got kicked out. So now my stop was going to be here at 1897. So I'll look at the 1-minute chart so you guys really understand what happened. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the first 5-minute candles, and it pulled back a little bit. So right here to 1897, and then my entry would have been here. So you'll see that it flushed down really quickly, and right after that, right here, this candle, it almost kicked me out. So right here, the high of this candle is 1896. Let's see here. So I was a couple candles away, but as soon as the next candle opened, this thing jumped from, what's the low of this, 1894, and it just jumped to 1909. And it kicked me out. What does it say? It kicked me out at 1909. So I'm guessing maybe people got squeezed out or something, and there was no shares for me to buy back at a lower price. So I got filled all the way at 1919 or 1909, and unfortunately I ended up losing $240 on that. So that is way more than I was initially risking. I was only risking 15 cents, and so on 750 shares should be somewhere around $100. So, but unfortunately, it hop, skipped, and jumped, and it just kicked me out. Now, on my way back down, I said, okay, it's forming a lower high. If it goes down under 19 at the top of that spike, I'm going to put my stop there. I'm going to short it under the whole number 19, and I'm going to cover as I go. So that was my plan as it went down. So my next trade right here, 500 shares, 1894. So I got it a little late. What time did I get it at? 9:44. So right here in this candle. So as it broke down below 19, went ahead and shorted it. My stop was going to be up here at 1918. So it's going. So if you guys don't see the lower high, this is what I mean. So right here. So it's just the lower high, which means that it's coming back up, but it's not coming back up to the very top, which means that there's sellers just pushing it down. So it should technically keep going lower, make a lower high, and just keep trending lower. Remember, the trend is your friend. So I shorted it under the whole number as it broke VWAP as well, and I covered 200. Actually, that's not it. I covered 250 down here at 1864. So I rode this thing all the way down here at 1864 till 953. What candle was this? It was down here at the bottom. near lows, and unfortunately I ended up getting kicked out the second half. So 250 there, and then I got kicked out at 1903 as it broke over 19. I said anything over 19, I'm gonna go ahead and get out. So ended up making, I believe, what was it? So probably 60 bucks, 50, 60 bucks, unfortunately, on that. So ended up taking away some of the losses, but it's still, it didn't cover it. I think that first CARA trade definitely set me up for the rest of the day, because now I'm playing catch up. It's not putting you really in the right state of mind where, holy crap, I'm almost to my max loss, one more loss, and I'm going to have to just be done for the day just because I made a stupid mistake on, instead of getting out break even, I was a little stubborn. I kind of sat there like a deer in the headlights, like, no way, this is actually about to come back up. And I'm out. And holy crap, I just lost $240 in a couple of minutes. It's very unfortunate. It does happen. I actually thought about maybe hotkeys, but I think I probably would have been able to get out if I would have just thought a little bit faster on my feet. It's just, it did not happen this morning. So let's talk about the next trade. So my next trade was eBay. eBay, same exact thing. It was consolidating, and it was gapping down pretty big this morning on earnings. And as you can see, exactly the same thing. So red candle, it pulls all the way back up here, 35.35. Initially, I was going to get in, and I was going to have my stop be all the way back up here. But I said I can't do that because there is a 52-day moving average. There's a 52-day moving average, and that is just too much. So let me show you guys what I mean by that. 52-week moving average is within the past year. This is the lowest point that the stock has ever hit, and usually there's people that will come in and buy it at 52-week lows because it is a cheap price. That's just what investors do. They come in and they buy it at a cheap price and try to ride it back up. So usually there's a lot of buyers at the 52-week low, unless if you break down and gap down below the 52-week low, people will just jump ship and just get out. But I knew that I did not have a lot of room. I had from 34.50 down to 34. So not really a lot of play room. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and short it down at 34.50, and then I'll have my stop here at 35. I'll write it down at 52-week low, and hopefully it'll work out. So I ended up shorting it right at 9.46. So right here in this candle, right here at 9.46, got triggered. And I put my stop up here at 35. So the VWAP at that time was right around 35, and it had not started curling down yet. So I said, okay, I'll put my stop there because there's no way I'm going to be able to reach a target of more than, what is it? More than from 34.50 all the way to 80, 85 cents. There's no way. So I said, let me put it at 35. 200 shares short. Oh, that's something else. 200 shares short, but I got pretty close. I wanted to get rid of my shares at 34.05, but ended up not working out. It came all the way down to 34.03, never really hit my 1-to-1, and as it's sitting here kind of consolidating, I went ahead and added another 200 shares. So the market looked like it was headed lower. Let me put the SPY over here. SPY is here. Market looked like it was headed lower, which it really still might. It's still trending down. But I went ahead and added. So I was looking at eBay. It's still below VWAP, still below the 9. So it's still trending lower technically. But I said to myself, okay, as it trends down a little lower, if it breaks down below this range, I think I'm going to go ahead and add. So I added right at 10.34. So right here in this candle is when it broke the range of this green candle here. So as you can see, it's headed lower. And then I put my stop here. I said, all right, let me get in here, add to the position so I can at least try and get down to near 34.20, 34.15-ish, and then at least be able to take $100 out of this. I'll lower my stop down to 34.65, and if it does come back up over, I'll get kicked out because I don't want to sit here all day waiting for this position to get all the way down to 34. So let me just go ahead and add and take a little bit of a chance. So ended up taking that chance, and as you can see, I added it in this candle. I almost got kicked out of this candle, and I definitely got kicked out of this candle. So it broke back over the 34.66. I got kicked out of eBay right at 34.68 at 10:40. So this candle, this thing right here kicked me out. Good thing I didn't suffer a lot of slippage. I only ended up losing 90 bucks. Not a big deal. It's actually less than I was initially risking, so I think my risk to reward on that would have been good if it would have just kept trending down a little bit lower. It's almost like the market heard me, like, hey, he's gonna add. Let's, boom, bunch of buyers come in. Like, look at this. It was dying out on volume. It was starting to fade, but then out of nowhere, right at 10:40, the volume just kicks in and just starts heading higher. I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, and then I took one more trade on TCP. So TCP, I thought was going to be my saving grace this morning. TCP was gapping up this morning, and it set up a pretty good, it was relatively low volume, but it set up a phenomenal flag. It's just ended up not working out. During the time that I actually ended up getting in, the market was going in the complete opposite direction. And I actually ended up doubling the position, unfortunately. So that was before I actually looked at the SPY. I should have looked at the SPY first, said, okay, let's not double on the position if it's headed lower. So I should have only really taken 100 shares. Regardless, right here. So it pulls up. Let me take this out of the way so you guys can see. All right, so it pulls up, straight up. It pulls back to VWAP in the 9, so it's kind of curling up and it's getting support from the bottom. And the next candle to make a new high is your entry. So as you can see here, green candles, pulls back to the moving average. Over 36, we got a whole number. We got a good pattern. But unfortunately, the market's not working in our direction. So, but, you know, when it rains, it pours. Everybody gets wet. And right here, I get triggered right here at 950. So let's see here. 200 shares right at 950, right over the high of this candle, which the high of this candle was 35.92. I got triggered in at 35.98. I was expecting it to go up and over 36, which it did. I was anticipating, because if it did break up and over 36, I was afraid it was just going to go and give me a bad fill and, you know, risk more than I was really willing to lose. So I ended up getting filled a little bit before 36, right at 35.98. And as you can see, it just kind of trended higher and higher and higher. I said, okay, this looks like it's going to form. I saw it right around here. So I saw it here. I got triggered, kept going, and I said, okay, this is still trending up. Let me draw this out on the 1 minute. So I said, this is still technically trending up. So as you guys can see, higher, low, or what's it called? It's, yeah, higher, low, and then it just keeps breaking up higher and higher and higher. So I said, as long as we stay above this trend line, we should be okay. But what happens? We break down below the trend line, come down to VWAP, and it basically, I just start looking for a way out. My stop was going to be down here at 35, but I said, okay, if I need to start getting out of this position, the SPY is going against me. This broke down below the trend line, and this is not what I expected it to do. So that's 3. So I need to start lighting up this load, trying to get out of this position. So it actually did end up giving me a chance to get out. So when I got triggered over here, I held it for quite a while from 950, and I decided to get out of it here at 1040. So I was lucky that VWAP, the volume weighted average price, which is the average price for the stock, I was lucky that it was above my stop because it provided an extra bit of support. So I have the whole number 35, which is my stop, which was actually 34.99. It was my actual stop. And then I have VWAP above it. So it has 2 layers of support for me to try and catch a bounce and then possibly get out of the position. So now, as it's sitting here consolidating, it bumps back over near 36. I said, I'm only down $16. Let me get the hell out of this position. So I went ahead and got out right at 1040. So right here in this candle. If I would have waited a couple more minutes, I would have made some money, but not a big deal. Either way, it was making a lower high. Remember, it's broken down below the trend, so it's not valid anymore. There is no more trend. The trend line is broken. You know, I think it's going to make a lower high. It's going to either head lower, kind of consolidate above VWAP or right above VWAP, and then maybe break. Either way, that's not the plan. Let me get the hell out of this thing. So I went ahead and got out at 36. I took a $16 loss. Not a big deal. A lot better than the $150, $200 loss I could have taken on TCP. But I really had a good chance to be able to make a lot of money out of TCP. That's why I went ahead and doubled. The only mistake that I made taking that trade is I did not look at the SPY right before I actually took the trade. So I should have just looked left, looked at my other screen, said, okay, we're headed lower. Let's not double on it. So could have lost $8, or maybe I could have taken a partial up here. I wanted to break up and over 37, or at least get close to 37, because remember I got in at 35.98, so I at least need to hit 36.98 before I take a partial and put my stop loss at break even. So that ended up not happening. Got to stick to the plan, and if the plan doesn't go in your direction, you have to start looking for a way to get out. I didn't want to sell near support either, a VWAP, because that's not what you do. So I sat here and held it. It's not like I'm holding a bag. It's not past my stop loss or anything like that. It's just I'm looking for better exit. I'm looking for a better exit than what I'm currently in, and luckily I ended up getting it. So today took a $296 loss, basically erasing what I made, well, most of yesterday. But I haven't had too many big red days or hit my max stop in quite a while. So it is not a big deal. And these I've been tracking these ORB breakdowns, and they're actually working out really, really well. If you guys want to know more about these patterns, the patterns that I'm talking about, if you guys go back yesterday, there was a perfect VWAP rejection that I talked about, and all these patterns give you a higher probability of these things kind of self-fulfilling, because a lot of people know what they are. You just have to know what stocks to apply them on, what are the volume criteria, how to search for them, how to position size, where to put your stop, and all that stuff is actually covered in the course that I made. If you guys want to go to marketopentrading.com, the link will actually be down in the description, and it will give you an A through Z of my whole strategy and tell you how to become a profitable day trader. So if you guys want to check that out, you guys are more than welcome to. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys are on Facebook and you guys are watching this, or if you guys have a Facebook, make sure to join our Facebook group. We're to 11,000 members, where I post actually my watch list every single day. So all the guys in the room actually had access to the watch list that I trade every single day. We had a lot of movers. But yeah, either way, if you guys have any questions, make sure to put it down in the comment section below, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.